Hello and welcome to PS Best Friends, episode 48 for the week of April 17th, 2018. As always, we are the PlayStation podcast by the community, for the community. We come to you each and every Tuesday to give you the rundown on all the latest PlayStation news you could possibly need. This week we discuss a potential new Bioshock game, Drake offers up some free advertisement for Fortnite, and our very own Jeffrey Mizrahi gives us his early God of War preview. Before we start, just some quick housekeeping. We are now on Patreon at patreon.com/psbestfriends, where you can back us for any number of dollars. Throw us a couple bucks, you can get yourself a shout out on the show. This podcast will always be free. However, in order to give you a better podcast, we would massively appreciate your support. Please check us out on Patreon and become an even bigger part of our community. As always, I'm your host, Anthony Palm. Of course, we couldn't give you all the weekly goods without Chicago's prodigal son, Miguel Alvarez.
What's up, guys?
And the aforementioned Brooklyn bad boy, Jeffrey Mizrahi. So, you, Jeff, got a preview code of God of War. So,
the big baller over here.
Why don't you just take this whole intro over right now?
As you guys might have seen, I did a review of God of War for the New York Video Game Critics Circle, a place I've been interning at for a little over a year now. And from time to time, my boss there, Harold Goldberg, he's written a book about the history of video games. I think it's called something like that. And
you think you would know?
I got the name right. And he also writes for like different outlets and stuff, whatever. So he's like, "Oh, you want to read this game?" And I said, "Sure." And so I played and beat the entire God of War. We're talking about the God of War collection on Vita, right? Because with the Hydra at the beginning and all that. So that was very fun. I think the frame rate. Now I'm struck with y'all. But funny, quick aside, I did jump back into God of War 1 on the Vita, that port. Not that bad. But back to God of War 2.
Is that on sale right now?
Huh?
Is that on sale right now? You think they would do that?
No, it's actually $15, and I don't know how I have it on my download list, but because
you must have bought it at like 1 a.m. half asleep sometime or something.
I know. I think it was a glitch once on Plus or something, because for some reason when it downloaded, it had Chinese text on it or Japanese text on it.
Maybe you were like messing around with different regions or something like 10 years ago.
Must have been. I don't know. But either way, that plays good on the Vita if you need a quick God of War fix before.
If it's cheap, like if it goes on sale on the day this comes out, because that's when the sales always drop, I'll pick it up. If it's not on sale though, I might just wait.
Yeah, you'd think they'd put the other ones on sale, but either way, I played the new one. Amazing, absolutely love it. You could check my video review and my written review, but if you're not about that, you're about audio stuff. Some things I loved: the reinvented combat, the axe throwing feels super amazing, super fluid. At first, so you could change it. I realize this. The controls are R1 and R2 for light and heavy attacks, but you actually could change that to square and triangle. But I'm not sure how you would call it.
So it's like the default is similar to
Assassin's Creed Origins. Yes, actually, surprisingly,
and also For Honor.
Yeah. And I think it works way better than those. So if you're thinking, ooh, I don't like Assassin's Creed combat, it works so much better because it's still, and I noted this from the first combat scenario in the game, it still feels extremely God of War, just with like the speed at which like you're hacking and slashing.
So is it slower than the original trilogy? Like the
really combat? Isn't really, and that's
what I was. Because that's what I thought it was going to be like in the initial previews. Is I thought it was going to be a lot slower and chunkier, kind of a la Hellblade.
Worries, yeah.
If you're saying the tempo of the combat just as fast, that's awesome.
Do you have as many enemies as you had in the other God of Wars, or so you got just?
Yeah. So what this game does, which is different, and I don't know if I like it better, but it's very cool, and I like how it is here. Is that the encounters feel way more intimate in the sense that you're playing. It's kind of like you're focusing on 1v1 every enemy. Like you also focus on maybe if you get to pull out some like runic attacks and stuff, which are pretty much like your specials. You'd use them to like clear like a group of like 3 enemies in front of you. But the way the game's designed, it's really all about that close encounter type. I'm dealing with this one enemy rather than in God of War. the regular ones, you would be doing a lot of those like cyclone attacks and clearing out like 10 guys around you. You know.
So it's less Darksiders and more Hellblade, you would say.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Funny that Hellblade.
I mean, Hellblade was like a simple.
Yeah,
combat.
obviously
It
this is
wasn't
going to
like-
be much more
Yeah.
combat focused. Hellblade, the combat was there for the story, really, whereas this game, the combat is the game.
I don't know, man.
And then even switching over
As far
to
as
the
I can
story,
tell.
even switching to the story, so amazing. And
You said you completed the game. You completed the
beat
story,
the game.
not the actual game. Like
No,
not.
no. I
just
mean,
like-
I'm
have you
getting
done like
close. I'm getting
Oh, okay,
close
okay,
to
okay.
beating
Like the
whole
credits
game.
rolled for you, but
Yeah,
you
credits
didn't
definitely
get all
rolled.
the collectibles and stuff.
But a 50% trophies right now.
the? Do you
I
see
got it.
yourself planning the game?
I would need to use a guide. Just be would I? Yeah, I probably need to use a guide because there's
Are there
one.
collectibles?
Yeah, there's one trophy that's
Okay,
heavy
okay,
collectibles that I don't think I'd
Like
be
collect
able to.
all, or is it like
Yeah, collect
just a
all
certain- Oh, okay.
Bazinga boys.
Yeah, that's not that bad.
Yeah, it's more of just you need. Well, actually, there's kind of this like, whatever I will say. But back to the story. Yeah, I can imagine if I was a father, and I've read some articles that had like some father perspectives on them, that I would appreciate the story much more. But even not, it's really cool in how it handles Kratos and Atreus and like that dynamic of what do you tell your kid? How do you teach your kid, but while also protecting your past? Like how much do you reveal about yourself? If you've had like a dark past, and it's very interesting how it handles it.
Son, I used to yell a real lot, and I used to kill everything that moved.
Well, exactly. But now you want to raise this kid who's
No, that
not
is
going
interesting
to do
because
that.
I don't know anything about the story aside from just he has a son and they fight a giant snake monster.
Yeah.
That's like all I know about the story. So that's something cool to think about before jumping into it.
But yeah, no, all this will be presented. None of this is spoilers, by the way. But you know, I love
Yeah, I
the
think you
combat,
made
the open world. I don't really get a chance to talk about in any of my reviews, but the open world is there.
Is it
It's-
open, or is it just in sections?
Is it like a hub world like Tomb Raider? Because that's what people were thinking on all the previews.
So spoiler
Is
for you.
it, or is it one map just divided in sections?
So no, you could go everywhere on this map.
Okay.
Though it is not as, I guess, flat as other open world games like Horizon or Zelda, in the sense
Okay.
where like you could just like there's like 3 different ways to get to that one thing that you see in the distance. There's
Okay.
not in God of War. It's
It's
very
just
much.
one?
It's like, oh, you're gonna have to
Okay,
take
okay.
the
So
path
is it
over
kind
there.
of is it kind of like Shadow of the Colossus, where it's an open world, but to get to the lake you have to go through this winding cavern? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I haven't played Shadow of the Colossus in a while, but yeah, that does sound very much like what it is. But though, what I thought was going to
Yeah,
get
I wanna
annoying,
replay Shadow.
where it's like, oh, now I have to go back to this place and like re-go through the whole like path that I just did. It fills in these gaps with these cool, just like Kratos and Atreus, just like dialogue. There must have been millions of lines recorded for this game, because
That's good to know.
whenever like you're in a long whenever you're doing a long gap of just like traveling, I guess I'd say, Kratos will start just like randomly, like dynamically just starting a story, and they'd have like dynamic conversations.
That's
And
awesome.
Then the conversations could also get cut off, which is very funny, by doing like a story thing where like Kratos is like quickly like in the middle is like, hey, not now, like he'll cut himself off. It's pretty funny, but it actually
Okay, I
works
like
very
that
well.
they do that too, because like for as much as I love Final Fantasy 15, that's one of my smaller gripes with it. Is like there's
They
moments
repeat
where like
stories,
you're
right?
in, well, you're not even that. It's you're in the car, you're in the regalia, and they'll start off with like some quick quips, or like they'll talk about something, and then it's just silence for like the whole entire rest of the drive.
Oh,
So
yeah,
that's cool
yeah.
that God of War kind of addresses that, and I like the fact that like if you get interrupted, it's not just like, oh, stop this. Like it's like the games have like those hard cuts of like you get interrupted and then all of a sudden they're in the middle of talking about something else. I like that it like he's acknowledging like, all right, we'll talk about
he
this later.
literally, yeah, he literally says we'll talk about this
It's
later.
like the
and
littlest touch, but something like that. That's like a pet peeve that for me that like this game is addressing. You know what I mean?
And then even better
That's cool.
afterwards, when you continue the story, it's like a Atreus saying, "Oh, great, oh, Dad, where were you? yeah, where are you about this thing? And he's like, oh yeah, here. And then he continues back into it, and it's I don't know that the voice recording must have been insane. Miguel, you're saying?
Question. I don't know if it's a spoiler or not.
Yeah.
So you tell me. But my question is, does Kratos like talk about the past? Because I know it's still Kratos that has gone through the like 3 main games, like that stuff. Does he talk about it like in this game?
Yeah, I'm good. I'll say spoiler free. It's addressed. You know, like I said in my reviews, is the same Kratos. So, you know, just imagine.
But
it's like,
they
it's
don't
like the same
like,
person.
So it addresses it, but
heavy.
you don't want to say whether or not he talks about it.
I'm not gonna say how it addresses it, but yeah.
But it is addressed. Okay,
Okay,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
That's cool.
God,
I have a theory. I have a
personally-
theory on it, but I don't want to share it because I don't want to.
Yeah, because personally, if that's good to hear, because if Kratos didn't address it or someone didn't address it, it would be like, really? I know it's like a soft reboot of the series, but
yeah,
I would like them to like go in the past on like this would happen maybe or something like that.
It's very good to go into this game. Do not think this is a reboot and this is like a RoboCop reboot where it's a different character, but it's the same character, same world and stuff. This is the same character. This isn't this is a new Kratos in the sense.
It's like Doctor Who. It's like the Christopher Eccleston Doctor Who is a quote unquote reboot, but all the other stuff still happened in the old series.
I don't know enough about Doctor Who, but if that's
And actually, it's a
that's what it
perfect
is.
analogy, but you just
Is it
don't
okay?
watch
Cool.
Doctor Who. So,
Yeah, no.
so that's cool. So yeah, what would you recommend?
So hardcore recommend if you're looking for a single player 20-30 hours. So the main campaign took me 20 hours. I probably spent another 10 hours in it so far, and I think I have easily. I could put another 10 to 20.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Yeah, no, I'm now realizing that when I said like maybe 10, 15 hours after playing the game. Oh shit. But no, it has a lot of content. So if you're looking for a single player game like that,
So
definitely
you recommend
buy
it then?
Yeah, definitely recommend it. The only points I would knock off is that it doesn't have any bonus content, no like making of stuff like that on disc.
But that's on YouTube, man. You could just get your
yeah.
phone and watch that. I mean,
Yeah,
it's not that bad.
I'm with you where I wish it was there too, but I think it's just a different day and age. I think
I know.
we just need
Yeah.
to get used to that. You know what I mean?
The thing is though, there's not even a documentary, which they all did have like 45-hour long documentaries each game.
Maybe it'll
It's
come out
like-
later though, or maybe it'll come out as like a separate download.
It could. Like how The Last of Us had the Grounded that came out later. The
Like
Grounded
sometimes if you go look on the PSN, like if you go scroll on your cross media bar, if you go to the game and then just scroll down, sometimes it'll just like one extra thing will show up as like a DLC, and then it's like a free patch or something. Like Kingdom Hearts had that where they had there was some kind of like extra cutscenes or something. So
But yeah,
That's
that's
cool.
been my God of War impressions. Playing anything else? No, not much really. I mean, I did pull out my Vita the other night just to try God of War, and I also did play some Lumines. You guys ever played that? Lumines games, the puzzle games.
No.
I think I might have played like a demo for it on PSP like in 2005.
Those are fun games. Very difficult. Because you start always starting off with the same songs, and you always go. It's like level 1 is the same song, level 2 is the same song, and it's like you always have to start it again, which is a little annoying. But then besides that, pretty much
Have you gone back to Ni no Kuni?
good call. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna return it today, because it's getting kind of samey. Where
Okay.
like, and I've been so away from the world where it's like, all right, I
Like if
get
it was the only game you were playing, you'd be fine still grinding away.
yeah.
But at this point,
'Cause,
it's like I get it.
now we're going to a different town and recruiting their king, and it's like, all right, yeah,
So-
I could see how I'd be more interested in this, but right now, I'm not. And then Gamefly
That's-
sending me Fire Emblem Warriors. Yeah.
That's kind of my issue with Segway. That's kind of my issue with Far Cry 5 right now. Is I'm enjoying the moment-to-moment gameplay. I was a little down on it last week, and I'm back, enjoying it again. But it is kind of the flow of the game is just so much different from Far Cry 3 and 4. Where Far Cry 3 and 4, it's hey, here's the story mission. Go to the story mission. That unlocks the next story mission, and then you just do that until you beat the game. In this game, there's the resistance meter, which you then have to fill to certain like checkpoints to unlock the next story mission.
that's
So it's like
really
I'm doing side missions that I don't want to do, or I'm doing like I'm freeing hostages that I randomly find on the side of the road, and it's like, okay, like it's a cool idea, but I just want to beat the game. Like, I just want to get through this before God of War comes out. And it's like, I don't want to have to worry about this resistance meter in all 3 areas. Because all 3 areas are pretty... They're decent size. They're not huge. But they're decent size. So I just want to beat this freaking game. But I am back to enjoying the moment-to-moment gameplay. I think Arcade burned me out. And I think taking about a week off of it.
And that was just
got me
one
back
day,
into it.
dude.
It was like 2 days. Yeah, two days back to back. And it just soured me so much. So I gave it a break. I'm back on a high on Far Cry 5. I was telling Tay yesterday, I want to beat it before Friday. Because if I beat it before God of War, then my mentality will be, okay, I beat it, now I can go clean up the trophies and platinum it later on. If I don't beat it before God of War, then it's, I got to beat God of War, then I got to go back and beat Far Cry, then I still got to platinum it. So it's one of those like piling onto my backlog things, where mentally, if I can at least just beat the story before Friday... But I don't know if that's going to happen.
A thing I'm going to say about God of War, or just about like putting in your backlog and stuff, is that it has that one-shot style, so it's like the one camera's following the entire thing and it never cuts. It makes it for a game that if you were to put it down, I had to play it for review, and like I wanted to get the review out on embargo, so I really didn't play any other games in between that. But it's really a game where I could see, like, if you just put it down at like hour 6 or whatever, just random hour, and then don't come back to it for like 3 days, you could come back, and then hour 7, you'll be like, oh wait, what happened? Because like, it's really like one whole story. So just a little thing. It's like
kind of like not God of War, Gears of War 4, where it's like it takes place over one night. Like it's
yeah, kind of
no time jumps. So it's
there's
interesting.
no time jumps.
That's good to note. So I'll try and kind of do that all at maybe not
like
all
your
at
main
once,
game,
but
yeah.
But so that's how I'm feeling about Far Cry 5. I'm bummed while you were talking about God of War. I'm like, man, I would love to go back and platinum Hellblade before God of War comes out. But I think Far Cry is going to kill that, so I'm just not going to get to it. And then I want to mention Fortnite real quick.
What are you missing in
update
the
this past
Hellblade
Thursday?
platinum?
It's like the
Collectibles.
Yeah.
Collectibles.
So
And I would have to replay the entire game again. Yeah.
That sucks.
No
chapter select. Do they add that?
That's the thing is, if I should look, if they added a chapter select, I would go back and do it.
It's been a while.
But I do really love Hellblade. Just real quick, I love Hellblade. I was thinking about just replaying it just for the sake of replaying it recently. So maybe eventually, because I think I left it installed. Maybe eventually, I want to get the platinum. It's just a matter of when I'm in that mindset.
I would say play it after God of War, just so you don't confuse the Norse, because I mean, just by nature of both being Norse.
Like I said, Far Cry is going to take up my time before God of War comes out, anyways.
Yeah.
So, I was just saying I would like to do that. And then Fortnite, I just want to mention real quick, since the newest update. They added another building control scheme, and I like it a lot. Miguel doesn't like it. I think it's way better.
It's not that I don't like it. It's just I'm not used to it. So I keep pressing like R1.
You go to like switch the building controls, and then you put down
like
a roof.
Yeah, so what it does, it's a new control mapping, or it's entirely new?
It's a new mapping for the building mode.
Like
so pretty much the way it works is what you press circle to go into building mode like normal, and then L2 places a ramp or stairs, R2 places a wall, L1 places a roof, R1 places a floor. So instead of having to scroll through them all, you can just do like bang, 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 bang. You know.
That's interesting.
So once you get
used to it, it's manually change that, or is that automatically changed?
Oh, when you press it once, it changes.
No,
I'm saying
press
it again. It puts
in the menu. Like, do I have to go in and change that?
Or you have to change your control scheme. Yeah. It's Builder Pro. The combat for Builder Pro is the same as Combat Pro. So if you're using Combat Pro, it's the same thing.
Yeah, I do use Combat Pro. Interesting. I'll try that out.
So yeah, it's once you get used to it, it totally changes the game.
It's pretty much hotkeying, really.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what people were trying to compare it to, like people on PC. It's like, I mean, kind of, not really. Like you're still gonna be way quicker macroing everything. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
But
Portafor. Any thoughts on Portafor?
It's fine.
New item that you throw in.
They're rare.
Fort.
So I don't mind it.
I got two
like I was
so
selling.
Far.
Yeah, it's fine.
I mean, I had seen them. I just don't pick them up because I don't.
I thought it was going to break the game, and it doesn't really.
It's not the most advanced fort, really. It's a nice fort, but it's
I mean, it helps. I'm not gonna lie, it does help because like someone killed me using that. Like they just popped it, and then I was like, "What the?" Fuck?
Yeah. Like I was getting sniped, and then I threw it. I had like 20 health left, and I threw it, and then I used my first aid kit in the thing. And the guy was too far that he's like, I can't get to him to open the door, you know?
Yeah, that could be like something like that, more of a getting covered.
Yeah,
when you're getting shot or something, instead of using it, because you place it. I mean, you can't move it around. So if you have it and you place it at the beginning of the game, that's pretty much gone.
Yeah, and it's really just a tower with bouncy things on the bottom, so you could jump up, and then the top is like a bowl. Imagine.
Funny thing, dude. I was shooting some guy. He popped this thing. He was inside.
Yeah.
And the tires didn't spawn in for whatever reason.
I
So I
wonder if
just
he was on a
get
hill.
in the door and just kill them. I was like, ha.
I wonder if it's like, you know how
Nice,
when you go to
trapped
place
himself.
like a wall or a floor on a hill and it doesn't place it right, like it places it like in
Yeah.
the ground. I wonder if that happened.
Yeah,
And so the
probably.
tires did spawn, but it was underneath the ground. That'd be funny.
I don't know.
They gotta
I mean,
fix the
would've-
building detection for that game, man. It's whack.
Yeah, I try to see like where the map is, where like the floor is of the game.
And then obligatory. I played a real lot of Hearthstone this week. I'm still playing. Got that Shutterwalk shaman, and I got a spiteful lady in white priest build. So I'm rocking those two. I went up 5 stars and went right back down 5 stars all in a row. So that's my life in Hearthstone. Miguel, you got anything else you want to add? You've been playing World at War. You say you're liking it a lot more now, right?
Yes, I am.
World
I
War
like-
II. Not
World War II.
If he
Oh,
was
World
playing
at War.
World at War, that'd be hilarious.
I wouldn't be surprised at this point.
I mean, that's a better
10
game
years
than
later,
this one,
10
so.
years later, now he's warming up to World at War.
That is a better game than World War II. But
Yeah.
I like the changes they have made. I've been playing a lot on the weekend.
Do you have the new DLC?
No, I'm not getting the DLC. I'm not paying for the DLC.
By the way,
They should just not charge for the next one, like the season pass,
further
and just give the match free.
to imply that what Activision is doing with Bungie and Destiny, we'll probably talk about it in the news, but next Destiny 2 map pack, Crucible maps, free for everyone.
I mean, that's
Those were
where the
part of the
industry is going,
expansions?
like giving maps for free.
The expansion
Call of
2
Duty needs
maps
to do
will
that.
be free
The
for
Crucible
everyone
maps
in
were
G2.
part of.
I don't know.
part of
A
Osiris?
trend? Do I hear it coming? I think so.
Wow, I didn't know Crucible maps were locked behind the paywall. I thought it was just the.
Oh no, wait! Crucible
Well,
maps
that's
always
all
been
that.
locked behind a paywall. I mean,
Wow.
they're part of a map pack. They're part of an expansion.
Maybe I just always
But yeah,
had the
back to-
DLC, so I didn't know that.
Yeah. But yeah, Miguel, continue, sorry.
Yeah, been playing that, enjoying it a little bit more. I mean, the maps are the maps, so can't change them. They're gonna give another map for free, I think next
Oh,
week.
interesting. A
Yeah,
remake
so-
or a new map? Do you know?
No, it seems like the headquarters.
Okay.
So it's like
The
part of the
Normandy Beach,
headquarters.
like
Yeah, and
the tower area.
they're just like making it bigger or something. I'm not sure exactly, but
Okay, that's cool.
I played Far Cry 5 a little bit more. I haven't beaten I think his name is John. The first boss.
Yeah,
I
the
think,
first
on the,
Lieutenant
like,
John. I mean, you can
South
go
Park.
either way, but I feel like most people
Yeah.
go to John's.
I unlocked it. I could go beat him, but like I told you, Anthony, I think it's just annoying when you're clearing the area, and you got so many enemies.
Well, every
still
time you
popping in,
max,
which is annoying.
out, there's like the 3 little notches on the resistance meter.
Yeah.
Every
Like,
time
it
you
gets-
max one out, they come get you. Like that's part of the story is they drug you and kidnap you.
I know that's stupid, dude. Like why?
Well,
Like,
that's
you're
what I'm,
sitting-
that's my issue is that there's no
like you're
real.
killing
It's not
them.
really a story mission. It's like they're
Yeah.
forcing you to go in. Yeah, it's very different.
It's like
than
you're
a previous
killing them,
Far
but
Cry game.
they're shooting at you, and then someone
And you-
someone tells them like, "Oh, don't kill them. We need them. Use blitz bullets." I'm like, "What? All right, whatever."
And then they drug you, and then they kidnap you. So.
Like I wish
that,
the
that mission
they were-
with John Seed though is actually really awesome.
Is it really
So
good?
I would
Okay.
I would say play it just because it's really fun.
Well, I want to finish the game, but it's gonna take me a
Yeah, I'm
some
in-
time,
I'm
I
in
think.
Faith's
I'm
region
gonna
now.
go back and forth.
I sent you guys this video. I don't know if you saw it, but comparison of the details in Far Cry 2 versus Far Cry 5. Did you guys get a chance to look at
I
that at
didn't
all?
get
or-
a chance to watch it. No, I should go
So-
watch it though.
It makes no sense to me. Far Cry 2 came out 10 years ago, and Far Cry
It's
2
a different game.
would have, but like in Far Cry 2, you could shoot through a metal like fence or whatever, and it'll hit the guy. Far Cry 5, that's not happening. Far Cry 2, you shoot a guy, he's wounded, he goes behind a rock, like he crawls behind a rock, like totally like wounded AI, and his buddy comes and patches him up, and he slowly regains his health. Then it shows the Far Cry 5, wounded guy goes behind cover, his friendly AI stabs him with a med pack, and he just jumps back to normal and then running as if he was never hit.
Far Cry 5 is
The
a very
Molotov
strange
cocktail was
Far Cry
thrown.
game,
It
man.
burned out the entire field in Far Cry 2. In Far Cry 5, it stopped after 10 seconds. It's like,
Yep.
What?
I did notice that because I went.
How?
I was just for ha-has. I was like, let me burn this like bliss plant field, and I had to use like 8 Molotovs. Like I had to keep crafting them. I was just like screwing around.
In
And
Far
I
Cry
was like,
2,
if
in
this
the
was Far
video,
Cry
it was-
3, like Far Cry 3, even you had that. There was that great scene with the
You're
flamethrower with the Damian Marley song in the background, and it went up in flames in like 10 seconds. It was awesome. And in this game, it's like,
Far Cry, the Far Cries are different, dude. In my opinion, like 1 and 2 are different from the newer ones, 3, 4.
But
5.
even 3 and 4, there's a lot of like 5 changed a lot of things that I should make a list of the things I noticed that are different. I want to replay.
They're
3
probably
and 4,
just trying
at
to
least
make it more
enough.
casual, dude.
Yeah, I get that sense. I definitely get that sense.
I'll send that video into our good friends Hope County Radio and see what they have to say about
That's
that.
pretty much the exact way I feel about it. Is that Far Cry 5 feels a lot more casual than 3 and 4.
Yeah, but yeah. Anything else, Miguel? You play?
Not really. I'm just waiting for. I'm like ready for God of War.
Yeah,
Encroaching on that.
I got
level
Ni
100
no
in
Kuni
Fortnite.
too here.
Start it.
Thanks
It's
to
a fun
gameplay.
game.
But
Oh, yeah,
I'm
I
like,
started,
I don't want to start it
You
because
gotta work
I'm
on it.
like God of War, and then I'm just gonna like forget about it.
I started Kingdom Come Deliverance, and yeah, I'm sending it back. I can't. It's just too dense. I'm like, I don't have time for this.
You know what,
Dude,
my
I
brother?
still have
And then,
Monster
like-
Hunter. I haven't touched it.
Nice.
I'm gonna send it back.
Yeah,
Try the beginning. Try just the first monster, really.
Miguel is not gonna like Monster Hunter. I'm calling it now.
Yeah, but
Not
my brother
type
brought
of
to my attention. He's like, dude, you haven't played your Switch in forever. It says offline. It doesn't even say last played anymore. So
Yeah, that's the story for the Switch, man.
Oh yeah, I
Well,
tried
I don't think
Bayonetta too. I got that
shut
on
up.
GameFly. Very fun. A
Really?
lot more nudity than I expected, but very fun.
yeah, I know. I want to play
Celestine
one before
does.
playing two.
All right, it's not time to play Nintendo Switch.
Because it is time for the Islander report.
There'll be some news.
There are 8 items on the list.
Hey, Captain's Con.
First up, another great story about how video game development is so fucked by Jason Schreier over at Kotaku. A studio within 2K is allegedly working on outside of it. A 2K within 2K is allegedly working on a new Bioshock game, according to a new report. And part of that report is that the focus is in the development of Mafia 3. There was a lot of issues. He discovered an unannounced project from a secret studio. Is this paraphrased or is this from the article?
It's paraphrase.
So Jason report. So the report largely focuses on making Mafia 3 and the impact it had on developer Hangar 13. But in his reporting, he also discovered an unannounced project in the works at a neighboring secret studio, codenamed Parkside. The project is said to be the next Bioshock, according to the report, and it sounds like it's not only top secret but also quite early in development.
Yes, and no doubt we're going to see another Bioshock property. But also this goes into how Mafia 3, had a low Metascore, but like the development was like tough and stuff. I gave it a quick skim. I'm planning on reading it. It literally looks like another chapter in Blood, Sweat, and Pixels. Very good book of his that I also about the game development. So give this a check if you like reading that. Apologies, we probably should have been more informed.
Yeah, are you excited for a new Bioshock?
Yes, I am. In the sense that a Metal Gear fan would still be excited for a new Metal Gear game. I know the creators left on different terms, but I'm still just a big fan of the series. And really, if they release anything with the Bioshock name, I'm gonna pick it up. So even
That's pretty much.
I don't really care. I'm not really saddened, I guess, that this one's not gonna have Ken in it. Ken Levine.
What I could see is you're pretty much indifferent
Well, the
if it
difference
comes out or not.
Okay, the
Yeah.
difference is with this and Metal Gear is Metal Gear. We all know Hideo Kojima and Konami's relationship was, turbulent at best, whereas Ken Levine, director of the Bioshock 1 and Infinite, he just wants to work on other stuff. He's not, you know what I mean. So I feel like it's different. I'm mildly excited for a new Bioshock, just because partially I feel like I'm obligated to be excited for it. Just what I mean, I have Jack's chain tattoos,
I mean,
but
worst case,
I'm not excited, but I'm kind of like, let's see what happens. Let's see who is on this game. Are there any Bioshock alums working on this game? I mean, it's not Steve Gaynor, obviously.
Worst case, they make a spin-off game like 2K, like what they did with XCOM, like the Bureau Declassified or some shit.
Heard that
And
was no
yes,
bueno.
that I would not be happy with. That if it looks like that preview cycle for the Bureau.
No, this has to be a full on. If it's this top secret, it has to be a full on Bioshock sequel.
You think it's gonna be
I wonder if
first
it'll be
person shooter
Bioshock
though?
3.
You think
It
it's
has to
gonna
be first
Rapture?
person. I think it has to be first person shooter.
Rapture
I
or
don't know
Columbia?
if it's. I doubt
Or
Columbia.
new.
I would say if it's not, it's either going to be Rapture or somewhere new. It's not going to be Columbia.
Yeah.
I could see them doing a prequel,
like Saboteur.
like the fall of Rapture, which I really want. That's what. Okay, so
We
real
saw
quick,
that for a
I'm
bit
s-
in Bioshock 2. That was
little,
I
but like
that bit. I
it's like the
that bit.
opening. Yeah, I really enjoyed the beginning of Bioshock 2. Bioshock 2, it was a good game, not great. It doesn't stand up to 1 and Infinite, but it was on its own. It's a good game.
I'll defend
Multiplayer
that
was totally
multiplayer till the day I
ham-fisted.
die. By the way,
It was fine. It was
100%
bad.
solid.
It was fine. But just real quick, every time they say, "Oh, a Bioshock movie's in the works," oh, is who's the guy? Not Bruckheimer. Who's the other guy that he was rumored to be directing a Bioshock movie? He did I don't know. But anyways, so every time that comes up, I'm like, I want it to be a prequel, be about Andrew Ryan and like the rise and fall of Rapture. Don't be about Jack. Don't be about. I mean, Fontaine could be in it, but don't be about like Atlas.
the thing is, so have you read the book Bioshock Rapture?
I haven't. No.
It does that. It is a prequel of the thing and how Andrew Ryan built it and how he got his guys. Like there's like a chapter about like him going to Broadway and seeing Sander Cohen and picking him up.
Oh no.
And-
I'm saying like Rapture, like the opening of the movie would be like the final like nail being put into Rapture, and it's
Yeah.
like opening and all that. That's what I mean. I don't mean like literally like showing it being
yeah.
built. Because that we got a little bit of that in Bioshock 2, because there was that that amusement park where it shows like how Andrew Ryan like chose what materials to use and all that. I thought that was really cool in Bioshock 2. But I always thought that Tom Hanks has to be Andrew Ryan. 100%. That's like the perfect fit for me. But yeah, so I would be okay if this was like a prequel to Rapture, but otherwise it's got to be like maybe like 50 years later they're revisiting Rapture and it's like falling apart. That would be kind of cool. And then there's just like all fucked up demon splicers and shit. That'd be kind of cool. That would make it way more horror oriented, I think. But otherwise, I don't know. I'm like I said, I'm not excited. I need to see who's working on it, and I need to see what the idea behind it is first before I get excited about another Bioshock game.
And next up, we got Hazelight Studios' co-op adventure A Way Out has sold over 1 million copies. Quote, we just found out that hashtag A Way Out has sold over 1 million copies in just over 2 weeks, end quote. The studio wrote on Twitter. Words cannot describe how much this means to us. Thank you all for the support. Awesome. Great game.
Yes,
Hope
awesome.
EA does more of these originals. I assume you didn't get to play any more of it.
Between it's the problem with this game is that the
Yeah, you have
best
to
friend
do
that
it
I have
with a
that's
friend,
playing it, like him and I have such opposite schedules.
That's why I've been seeing a lot of people saying, and like, oh, I'll never have another person to play with this. I'm not even gonna look at this game, and it's like,
Well, for you it was
no.
nice because you did it with your brother.
yeah.
For me, it's like
But yeah, very cool. I watched that the IGN Unfiltered with Ryan McCaffrey and Joseph Fares. You know Fares, his brother, the guy in the game, is on Westworld as like an extra or something, or like a side
Oh,
character.
really? That's cool.
I think
Yes,
season 2. I think that was season
Yeah,
2.
I think season 2. Next up,
Because Joseph Fares was like making fun of his nose or something in the video.
yeah, that's a weird video. Canadian rapper Drake has agreed to bring his love of Fortnite into his music, but only if developer Epic will meet him halfway with an in-game emote based on the music video for his hit song Hotline Bling. I actually was watching this live. Drake addressed the idea of rapping about Fortnite during a recent call with streamer Tyler Ninja Blevins. Quote, it has to happen, it just got to be the right way, Drake said. Someone's going to do it. Someone's going to pull it off. I say when Epic gives me the emote, when Epic gives me the Hotline Bling emote, I'll do it. Until then, I'm on strike.
Dude, if I'm Epic, I did this last week. What are you waiting for? Free advertisement from like one of the biggest artists in the world.
They need to it's gonna take
Dude.
a little bit, man.
Yes, they have to.
Dude,
get some
they can do
should
that.
mocap him.
They can do that
should
in a
mocap
day.
him.
Just fly him out and mocap. That'd be
They
funny.
could do it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But yeah, this is actually a great game they played while he was saying this. It was Ninja should have died 100 times, but then he ended up winning in the most like building outside of the circle. I love when he's running and he uses his like 5 bandages and makes like makes a long ass run with like 20 health because he's just doing it at the right times because he knows like how long it's gonna take. What a legend! What a genius that man is. And then he was explaining Dragon Ball to Drake. Also, it was very funny.
That's kind of cool. It's very interesting this whole Drake ninja saga.
I love it. Yeah, it's entertaining to say the least. Next up, Bungie announces Destiny 2's next expansion will be called Warmind and will arrive on May 8th with the start of Season 3.
Do you know what it's included on it?
No, they haven't said explicitly. What is interesting is I just said this on air, right? How the Crucible maps are going to be free.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But, the roadmap doesn't look the greatest right now. Summer is very scarce of content. They said, there's going to be a new event.
Still don't know why it's taking so long for 66 and Crucible.
Do you think people are going to go back and try that out?
I mean, people who own the season pass, which is a lot of people, I forgot the numbers for those, but they were large as fuck.
There's a lot of people that got excited at launch. And
Anthony owns the season pass, people own the season pass.
And you haven't gone back on the previous DLC.
I played like an hour of Osiris.
But it's going to be new content for 2 weeks. Like, I'm not afraid of that. It's going to be like, even Curse of Osiris, for how shitty it was still new content for a couple weeks, and I think it's going to be what it is. They have addressed, though, that there's going to be major changes in the September one, including weapon slot changes, which is really the big issue a lot of people have, how the weapons are slotted and how shotguns and snipers are all in the third slot that you never get.
Yeah. Do you think the September DLC is going to be a la Taken King for this version?
Yeah,
like,
it
the
is,
Taken King of Destiny 2?
But it really has to be Taken King to
on
like
steroids.
Squared, because I don't know. I always the game community is going to forget though at the end of the day, and motherfuckers are good unless the September DLC sucks ass. If it sucks ass, I think Destiny 3 will be dead. But if it changes the opinion in the slightest, I think people are going to be back into Destiny. I think that's just the way gaming communities are, really. But we'll have to see. Until then, there's going to be a live stream where they show off a bunch of new things on April 24th. Next up, Shenmue 1 and 2 are coming. Oh, a quick thing on Destiny, by the way. I was working, another coworker recognized my Destiny 2 bag, and we started talking. And straight up, every person I've ever met in real life that plays Destiny, they're aware of the issues, but they love playing it, and they're still playing it. And the only
gameplay is fun. That's not the issue.
It's like everyone that hates the game and creates all this vitriol around it, or the people online that I don't really know if they're playing it or not. So I just find that funny. Every real life person I've ever met loves Destiny, despite its issues. Next up, Shenmue and Shenmue 2 are coming in 2018, remastered on PS4 and Xbox One. Sega
Doesn't
announced
surprise
today.
me. Doesn't surprise me at all. This is probably fundraising for Shenmue 3 because that game is probably still in early development. It was literally just a banner when they announced it at E3.
Yeah, I've never played these games. I've seen them a lot, though.
I didn't know anyone even cared about these games, and then they revealed Shenmue 3, and then people were losing their minds as if it was like a Kingdom Hearts 3 release date. I didn't even know people cared about Shenmue 3.
Oh, it's always been like a Half-Life through, when will that ever come type game.
I just wasn't even aware it was that big of a fan base.
I think the Yakuza games really do it better, honestly. Because from what I hear, Yakuza is really just takes all the task stuff and the running around the city from Shenmue. But that's just my 2 cents. I've never played Shenmue. Next up, but cool if you can finally now play it if this interests you. Worldwide sales of Resident Evil 7 have reached 5.1 million units. That's a lot for
and
for
that's
a single player.
The most on the franchise, right? In my opinion.
I'd imagine, yeah.
Or is it 5 still? Because I know 5 sold a bunch.
5 sold a real lot. But this is good. I'm glad. Hopefully, this makes Capcom realize, hey, the next Resident Evil we do, let's take what we did good in 7 and expand on it.
Here, I got some numbers in front of me. Resident Evil is still the best one with 11.84 according to this.
The original PS1 one?
The Resident Evil 5. My bad.
Oh, Resident Evil 5. Okay.
Yeah.
So this has to double more than double its figure to catch Resident Evil 5.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 5 also has been re-released 3 times.
And 4 is at 8.1.
And that's been re-released 17 times.
Yep. 2 is.
I think
at
I own that on
6.
every console I own.
I wonder if they're adding all that together, like
Yeah, that's a
the
good point.
re-releases.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
If you go just based on GameCube release, GameCube and PS2 I'll give you, even though PS2 came out way later, I'd say 4 is probably closer to this 7-figure.
Okay.
Did sell a lot, though. Amazing
Not
game.
bad. It's good. It's good.
The release date for the Banner Saga 3 has been announced, and we'll see the final installment of developer Stoic's trilogy come on July 24th.
Did you guys play any of these games?
No, never got into the Banner
I think
Saga.
I
Heard good
bought one
things.
of them on sale. Another one was free with Games with Gold, I think.
Yeah, my brother likes them.
I wish it was on Vita. I mean, it's coming to Switch, which is, I guess, the same. But I when I was in the mood for this game, I wanted it on Vita. And then they canceled the Vita port after like 3 years of saying they were working on the Vita port. So, whatever.
Shout out to the Vita, by the way. Ahead of its time, really. Industry analyst Doug Cruet says Grand Theft Auto 5 has made more money than any form of media in history, with over 90 million units sold and $6 billion in revenue. I believe this. I'm like, wow, that was crazy. Until I saw some tweets saying the Bible, which is 100%, has sold more than Grand Theft Auto 5. So I don't know how this is. Maybe any movie.
Wait, you're comparing the game to the
I think
Bible?
they're saying modern media. I don't think they're talking about the Bible. Obviously, nothing's going to ever beat the Bible.
The original quote was like any other movie, TV show, music, or book. And it's like...
I mean,
but again, I think that means in the modern
Bible?
era.
Bible's actually the most stolen.
Exactly.
book
That's what I
in
was.
the world.
I'm like, I thought that's free for like anyone that goes to church.
But yeah, no, definitely whatever. Either way, definitely more than any movie.
Interesting little tidbit, though.
Which is crazy.
That's insane to me.
Here, would you guys think they're gonna stop supporting this game when Red Dead comes out?
No way.
No.
No way.
Because they said something that
They'll stop supporting Red Dead before they stop supporting GTA 5.
I mean, they're gonna start supporting it when the next GTA 5, GTA 6 comes out.
Yeah, I think 6 would be the.
Well, yeah, of course.
Will be the transfer over, which I don't really see until next gen. With Red Dead 2 coming this late.
Yeah.
You know, not really this late, but
There was actually a
this
topic on IGN this past week where they were saying is GTA is the PS4 going to be the first PlayStation that doesn't have a new GTA on it?
Yeah, that's crazy. I could see you make the argument for the GTA Online as it is.
I mean,
really different than the PS3 one. But,
they could do the same thing as they did on the previous with GTA 5. Release it on the 4 and then
Like
the last
to
one,
the,
which
like,
GTA
to
6
get
with
money,
it,
dude.
though,
Yeah. Because we're not getting a PS5, in my opinion, until like 2020.
I think 2020 is a safe bet.
And that game might be ready maybe around that time. So 2020, 2021, depends.
Yeah. I want to say, GTA 5, best rated game on PlayStation, but right under that now is God of War. So God of War is the best rated original game on the PlayStation 4. Really cool.
Good.
But that is it for the news. Let's walk over to the list of PlayStation games coming to every possible PlayStation platform as read by your best friends for the week of April 17th, 2018. First up, the game everyone is talking about this week. 420 is coming out. Assetto Corsa Ultimate Edition, PS4 digital.
Racing game.
Casey
Looks like
Howell Lacrosse 18, PS4 digital.
It's a lacrosse game.
Nice. Drive on Moscow, PS4 digital, 420.
It has tanks.
Wow, this game
like
looks. This is such a classic iOS port, like God of War, PS4 digital retail. Like, what is this game? Got him. Not even a chuckle. Wow. I hope a listener laughed at that. I hope a listener.
If this was Twitter, I would have
Let
sent
us
you
know.
that Zoidberg meme where that joke was bad and you should feel bad.
Oh, let us know if you laughed at that joke. From Santa Monica Studio, creative director Corey Barlog. Barlog. I always fuck that up. Comes in
Somewhere spelled it Balrog somewhere, and I was like, that's the devil monster from Lord of the Rings.
Barlog. Comes a new beginning for one of gaming's most recognizable icons. Living as a man outside the shadows of the gods, Kratos must adapt to unfamiliar lands, unexpected threats, and a second chance at being a father.
Kratos is back.
Damn. Oh, this game, I cannot wait to
Beardlier than ever.
Gunhouse, PS4 digital. I'm wondering.
Puzzle game.
I'll talk about that. PS4 digital. Phantom Trigger, PS4 digital. Slide with a Y. PS4
RPG
digital.
game.
Oh, shouts
You're
out! This
moving a
comes
little
out
too
this
far.
week. What?
You're like moving ahead, bro. You gotta put in
yeah.
my spices.
Miguel's trying to describe the game in one sentence.
Yeah, dude. In one like
so Phantom
one word.
Trigger, RPG game. Slide with a Y.
Slide is literally a puzzle.
It's a
game.
puzzle game. Yeah.
I guess that makes sense. It's a good name for a puzzle game. But shouts out! I forgot this comes out this week. Yakuza 6, The Song of Life. How far will you go for your family? 3 years after the events of Yakuza 3, Kazuma Kiryu, the Dragon of Dojima, returns in Yakuza 6 with the dream of living a quiet life.
Boy, has
So, you
Kiryu come a long way from the 1 hour of Yakuza 0 that I played.
Nice. He's definitely not in the 80s anymore. So whether you're a God of War fan or a Yakuza fan, you got good games this week. A new Breaking
Holy shit, Breaking
album
Benjamin's
comes
got a
out.
new album?
And the God of War soundtrack with Bear McCreary is also out. Not really spoilers. Like, it's not like Phantom Menace spoilers in the titles of the songs.
Qui-Gon's noble end, god damn it.
But it kind of does outline the story. Not really, though. It's very vague, surprisingly.
Bear McCreary, he does the music for Walking Dead, right?
Yes, he does. Yeah, he's great. They actually you could check out as a behind the
He
scenes
does
video
other
on
stuff
the
too that I can't
orchestra.
remember about.
They have they had like this Nordic choir, and they went to Norway to get a bunch of native speakers because
Choral
they had the pronunciations the best and stuff, and the music and the lyrics.
That's pretty cool.
Because
The
it's still the
E3
same
event,
pronunciations.
the E3 event that they revealed God of War and they opened with that giant orchestra. Was that written by Bear McCreary as well?
I think that was him. I think he was there. I think he was the conductor on that one.
I didn't know because there's some composers that just compose and there's some conductors that only conduct. So I
I'm
didn't know.
pretty sure it was him doing the
looking
the
into them.
wanding, the conduction.
That was such a dope intro to E3, man. And it's like this giant orchestra, and then you just see like this little cabin shack, and then you just see Kratos just walk out of the shadow, and then everyone just roared. It was so awesome.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we didn't know if it was God of War at the time, and it was like, wait,
Yeah,
what,
I mean,
what?
I caught it
oh,
when I
man.
was watching it.
I thought
Yeah.
it was gonna be
Just with the music, I was like, it's God of War.
Yeah, the music felt
because
like
it was
God of
just
War.
in like a snowy forest. I thought it was gonna be Left 4 Dead, not Left 4 Dead, Last of Us
Last
or
of Us.
something.
Yeah, seeing that new Kratos was very cool. Throwback, and now it's finally here 2 years
cool.
later. But those are the games this week.
All right, so we're running a little late today. We're gonna run through. We have some best friends questions, and then we're gonna do a quick video game 20 questions. Miguel actually has the question or the game this week. But so real quick, Nathaniel Hicks, his question comes from Patreon. Actually, both questions come from Patreon. Nate Hicks says, "What are games everyone is raving about that come out this year that you just don't have any interest in?" What do you guys think?
Oh man.
Tomb Raider, I'm gonna say. I mean, I have an interest, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, but really, it's like it's coming out in September, like across like Spider-Man, and I don't really see myself. I'm not hyped for that game.
I'm more hyped for Tomb Raider than Spider-Man.
Interesting. I'm gonna give a hot take. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Red Dead Redemption 2. I don't know what it is. I'm like, I'll play it. I'm gonna play it, but I'm not jazzed like everyone else is. Like, cool. It's like cool. It's another Red Dead. Cool. I wasn't in love with the first one. The way I don't dislike it. It just didn't grab me. So that's my hot take.
And next question, yeah.
And then the next question comes from Jake Jericho. He says, "If Radical Heights makes Boss Key enough money, what game would you like them to make next?" I don't know. God of War 5. I mean, Gears of War 5.
Wait,
Nice
what?
call on
I don't know.
that.
Like,
wait, what?
just go fucking
That took
populate
me-
your goddamn Lawbreaker servers. Fucking A. Fucking Boss Key.
Yeah, I'd say a single player game. Really, I don't.
Yeah, I think single player game.
I mean,
I actually
the
have a friend
first
that
step-
works at Boss Key. He does artwork for them.
It-
Definitely single player game. But do what you did the best with Gears of War. Like Cliffy B, you made the third person shooter. What are you doing?
Okay. If they make money on this game, which I think there are, they should go back and make Lawbreakers free to play. First of all, because I
think they
think that will bring people back to the game. In my
Looking it up,
opinion,
Jeff?
Yeah, I'm looking. At it.
Radical Heights. It seems cool. Like it's really early. I think it's like
It
five.
seems
They
like way
done it
early.
like
I
in
watched,
5-6 months.
Jeff, I think was it you that sent me the video of Jim Sterling's or no, I think just saw it on Twitter. Jim Sterling did a Jim Impressions on it, and he's like, this game has sort of potential, but it's a total fucking mess.
Yeah, no shit. It's like
Because Cliffy B tweets back at him, and he's like, if you're gonna talk shit about my game, at least follow me on Twitter. It's like, Cliff, come on, like this game is bad right now because it's like not even like 1/10 done. Like, don't get mad at Jim because he's being honest.
He should have stressed. I don't know. I mean, it says extremely early access everywhere and like all that.
But at the same time, like, so is it free and then there's just founders packs, or it's only free like for a week and then you
Radical Heights, I think, is going to be free throughout early access with the founders pack.
And just for anyone that doesn't know what Radical Heights is, it's a PC battle royale game made by Boss Key Studios, Cliffy B, Cliff Blazinski, maker of Lawbreakers, not on PlayStation. So just for anyone that doesn't,
and Lawbreakers right now on Steam at least is $30. So that's.
I think they're making it free to play soon, but it's not like it wasn't like immediately.
Yeah, it's not free to play yet. But yeah, we'll see where that goes, honestly. But now for the topic of the episode, the totes. Brought to you by Nathaniel Hicks over on Patreon.com. Remember, you can submit your topic of the episode at Patreon.com/PSBestFriends. He says, what makes a game one of your favorites of all time? Is it an emotional connection, a time in your life you experienced the game? Does it have specific boxes that it needs to check off? And if so, what are those boxes? He said this came from God of War, getting all around 10 out of 10s, critical praise. But now, is that my favorite game of all time? Or like one of my favorite games of all time? I think this is a good question. Because a game's 10 out of 10 everywhere, and I love God of War. I think it's an amazing game. I think it's a solid 9.5. It's not in like my top 10 games of all time.
Yeah, so we were talking about this right before we started recording too, and I brought up Uncharted 4 as another example of that. I love Uncharted 4. Like, it's probably one of the best PlayStation 4 games, and I'd say if I had to give it a score, I'd give it a 9.5 out of 10. But it's not. I don't think it breaks my top 20 favorite games.
I think favorites really based on, like what he said, is based on that emotional connection, where like some of my favorite games like Super Mario Land's 2-6 Golden Coins, like I could say that's like an 8 out of 10 Mario platformer, but like one of my favorite games of all time because it was one of my first Mario games. It does hold that emotional spot. So yeah, what do you guys think?
I mean, go ahead.
Personally, I think it's like for myself, like World War II is one of my favorites of all time, like Modern Warfare 2, and it's not because I emotionally connected to the game. It's just I played a bunch, and at that time I was playing like a bunch with my cousins and with family members, like online, and I just enjoyed that a lot. And
Which Call of Duty?
Modern Warfare 2.
Oh, Lord.
I thought he said World War II at first.
I know. I'm like, wait.
I think I said it, but
I'm like World War II.
I was like, whoa, wait a minute, something's wrong here.
MW.
Okay, so for you, your favorite game is more just like the one you have the best memories with and you had the most fun playing.
Yeah, that's for me. That's what it is.
So I don't think there's specific checkboxes. I think it's gonna vary. It's gonna vary person to person.
Like I'm sure
obviously Bioshock is one of mine. Mass Effect 2 is one of mine.
Like the beginning of The Last of Us, like when early in the game when something happens, someone dies, and I was like, oh, that got me emotionally, but it's still not gonna make the game one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah, I think it has like me. It has to do with like outside factor, like situations.
And I think you can have favorite experiences in gaming of all time without it being your favorite game. Like there's I don't know if this ever came out on PS3, but it was on 360. It was called Monday Night Combat. It was definitely on Steam. And that game is like a 6 out of 10
that was,
game. Like, it's not a good
game.
Exclusive
arcade game, right?
Yeah, it was not a good game. It was like a 6 out of 10. But the memories I have with that game, like playing with my two best friends, like we had so much fun playing this fucking the Xbox Live Arcade game. So that's one of my favorite memories in gaming, but it's not one of my favorite games. So I think there's a lot of nuance to this type of discussion. Obviously, if we were to go through our favorite games, most of them are probably going to be pretty highly scored games. Like Bioshock 1, Bioshock Infinite, Mass Effect 2. All those games were scored very well. So, of course, when you go through those, but then there's also the smaller games that I love. And that's going to depend person to person. Not everyone likes smaller games like I do.
Like,
not
for
everyone
example,
loves-
I love Hellblade. And, like, Anthony doesn't care much. Not Anthony, Jeffrey. Like, you're, like, indifferent on it, right? You're like, I don't like...
Yeah. I'm trying to think of the lowest rated favorite game I have.
That's what I was trying to think too.
Because
I was CTR rated. Was it high? I remember.
I can't imagine. I mean,
I would say it's probably a 7 or 7.5.
7. Okay.
Like Jack
That's
2, I
probably like-
love Jack 2. That wasn't really. I mean, everyone was down on it because it wasn't like the.
in
Kitty
'88, Crash
platformer,
Team
though.
Racing's in
Oh,
88
really?
on Metacritic,
Nice.
yeah.
Wow, nice.
You should bring it back. Just
Um,
saying. Activision, if you someone's hearing, you know.
But
Just
yeah,
bring it back.
so I've played a lot of 10 out of 10 games before that aren't my favorite games out of all time. So it's always that difference. Like, you can make a top 10 best games of all time and a top 10 favorite games of all time. I would definitely have very different games in both those categories. Like,
Yeah, like
games that I recognize
exactly.
as the
I would
best.
think Uncharted 4 would be like in maybe a top 10 best PlayStation games of all time, but it's not in
Yeah.
my top 10 favorite PlayStation games of all time.
Yeah.
I think from that franchise, 2 is probably more my favorite.
Yeah, I
My
think 2 is
opinion.
probably, but I don't even think 2 cracks my top 10.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
But
Yeah,
I do
exactly,
agree.
yeah,
I
That's a great example. Yeah, I would always say 4 is a better game than 2, but I personally like 2 better.
Golden Abyss is
because...
the best one. Just kidding.
What? Why not?
I said Golden
Go
Abyss
on.
is the best one, and then I
Golden
said
Abyss.
just kidding.
Well, this is
No,
surprisingly good.
two is my
It
favorite.
was really good, man.
But yes, essentially what puts it in that favorite category is the situations around it. It's a great question. Thank you, Hicks. Remember, you can send that in at patreon.com/psbestfriends. But now let's move over to video game 20 questions.
So again, Miguel is going to be hosting this. We started 2 weeks ago with we're going to have a rotating chair of the person presenting the game. So if you don't know what 20 questions is, the two players have 20 questions. Surprise. So yes or no questions to guess which game the host has selected. By the 20th question, we have to ask what the game is, so it's not 20 questions and then guess the game. And also, if we guess the game earlier than the 20th question and get it wrong, we don't get to use the remaining questions. So, Miguel, you picked your game last week for this week. So, I guess we're just good to go. So,
Yeah,
Jeff, you want to start off?
You guys got 20 questions? Let's start it.
Do you have a counter? Do you have a tally counter?
Old school.
Oh, pen and paper.
Old
Ooh,
school.
I like it.
All right, you want to start with your classic? Did it launch before the PlayStation 4's release date?
Yep. Did it?
No.
Okay, finally. Modern game.
So it did
Oh, wait.
launch after the PlayStation 4.
It did not launch.
It launched before the PlayStation 4 came out.
It launched before. Yes.
Okay.
So not a
keep
current
m-
generation game,
Yeah.
Okay.
or at least at launch was not a current generation game.
That always confuses me. I don't know why. Like, I don't get why.
We could now ask the second follow-up Miguel question of was it during the PS3 Xbox era? Should we go with that? Or you think he's gonna go with an earlier game? Even?
Yeah, was it? Did it launch in the PS3, Xbox 360, Wii/Wii U era? Not re-released.
Yes.
Did it launch for the first?
Yes.
It launched for the first
Yes.
time in the era.
Okay.
Okay, that's 2, right?
I think we've had these games in this era for a while.
Yeah, maybe next week I'll pick an old game.
First person, should we ask?
Do you want to narrow down exclusivity?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, did it launch exclusive to a platform?
No.
Okay,
Multi-platform.
Do you want?
I feel like just Miguel, it's going to be a first-person shooter.
Do you want to?
That
Is it a first-person shooter?
No.
Yeah, I saw that coming. I knew he was gonna. I knew he expected us to do that, and I knew
Yeah.
that's why.
Yep.
So at least it cuts out all the Call of Duties and shit.
Yeah.
So how many questions is that for? Or 3?
I thought he was gonna do like a spin-off, like Finest Hour or something.
You got,
big,
you
big
got
red
4
one.
right now.
All right.
This should be your 5.
Let's narrow down. Do you want to do developers or publisher?
You want to do where it was published?
Oh, this is fun. I like this.
No, shut up. You want to do where it was published? You think he'll do Japanese game?
This better be a game that we know, you motherfucker.
Oh, you know it.
Was it
Maybe.
published? Is the publisher of this game from America?
Outside. Yeah, okay.
Oh.
Was
Is
it-
the publisher
Publisher.
from America?
From America, based in America.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. An American.
So that's.
That's 5. 5 questions.
What does that leave us with? So that's. Is Naughty Dog Naughty Dog's not the publisher? That's Sony.
So, yes.
Would you consider Sony America or Japan?
Yeah,
Both,
Japanese
right?
hardcore.
But that gets tricky though because they have so many American studios. I mean, it's worldwide technically.
Wait, is the
Shoot.
publisher SEA? Or the publisher is...
Yeah, isn't it
For
SEA?
classification, if we already said it's multi-platform, but if it's a Sony game, it's
Oh, right,
a
it's not a
Japanese.
Sony game.
Sony's PlayStation's a Japanese publisher.
Okay, yeah, no, let's move on. I forgot it's
reference.
not a. Okay,
do
so you want to do?
third person?
Well, you want to narrow down the publisher? It's got to be EA, Activision. It's not
Oh.
Ubisoft because that's France. It's not.
Yeah.
Where's 2K based out of?
Take-Two is here. New York, I think, actually.
Yeah, that makes sense.
'Cause
Marin was,
It could be a Rockstar. It could be an like a random Rockstar game, like
Like
table
fucking-
tennis or some shit. Damn it. Nice.
Or what was it? The bald beard third Max Payne 3. Could be that.
Oh, could be. Yeah, you want to ask Take-Two? Was it
Is
published
it-
by Take-Two?
2K Take Two.
Take-Two Interactive, yeah.
damn it,
ZeniMax?
yes.
Nice. Ooh, okay.
Oh,
Take-Two.
was it?
six.
So,
Now,
well,
do
now
you
we
want
could-
to narrow it? You want to narrow it to Rockstar?
Yeah, it could either be 2K or Rockstar. Yeah, let's ask.
Well, because it could be Gearbox. It could be.
Gearbox, yes, good call.
It could be a Bioshock game. It could be Irrational. Or who did Bioshock 2? 2K. 2K Marin.
Yeah. Well,
Was it developed by Rockstar?
No.
Okay, so not Max Payne 3.
Gearbox is under them?
Yeah.
Well, Gearbox only makes first-person shooters.
Yeah, I mean, they made that Colonial Marines garbage game, and then they made Borderlands 1 and 2 and pre-sequel. So it's not that. But it can't be Bioshock if it's not a first-person game. So what the fuck are we missing? So it's Take-Two.
Game.
Ooh, XCOM?
Uh,
Is this a tactical game?
No.
So it's not XCOM. What the fuck could it be?
Take-Two does... Not Warner Bros. They don't own Warner Bros.
No, it wouldn't be like Batman or anything.
It's not Rockstar. The fuck does Take-Two own? Not Bethesda.
Come on, ask questions, guys.
What? How many
Pressure's
questions?
on.
Is it
right
part
now,
of a...
This should be the 9.
Is it part of a franchise?
No.
Or really a one-game? And it's not tactical. It's not first-person shooter.
No, that's a first person too. I was gonna say
Here,
Evolve.
I do gotta say with that, I don't consider it as the game as part of a series. I just wanna, cause
Does it have a name in the game that's reused? Like in other...
Yeah.
Now, this isn't a new question. This is a clarification.
Yeah.
yes,
So there are multiple games with the name of this title in it. But it's not part of it. So what the?
So you're saying that because I know how Miguel does. You're saying like if there's no Bad Company 2, Bad Company 1 would not be part of a series, or were you like, or no?
Bad Company 1 and 2, that's part of a series in my opinion.
But I'm saying if there
Would
was
you consider Bad Company as part of the Battlefield series, or is
Yeah.
Bad Company as separate from the Battlefield?
Yeah, that's
series?
separate.
So
in my
that's
opinion.
like what you're saying. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
so
yeah.
it could be a spin-off game, like.
All right. I'm like brain farting on Take-Two, man. I like exhausted all my Take-Two knowledge. Fuck.
Does the
Come on, ask questions.
is the developer 2K? 2K
No.
any location?
No.
Really?
What the fuck?
It's no 2K.
I wonder if this is like a Summer of Arcade game or something.
What does Take-Two do? So it can't be any sports game if it's no 2K development.
So that's 11 questions.
It's not Rockstar.
Yes, 11 questions.
You want to narrow down gameplay?
Yeah, let's talk about the game. Is it?
What
are you thinking? Is it a?
I was thinking like Civ Rev.
Oh.
Come on, ask questions, guys.
Is it
Civilization
a?
Revolution?
See, what's that?
Yeah,
It's not a
Civilization
tactical
game.
game.
Is it? Yeah, no. No. I want to say it's.
Would you? It's
See-
so it's like a sim based.
Is it a sim game? Is it?
No.
No, really. No simulation at
So
all.
it's not Civ Rev.
It's harder than it looks, right, Anthony?
So it's not XCOM though. What the fuck? Like, I could have sworn it
Oh,
was gonna
you
be
guys are
XCOM.
gonna be kicking your. I mean,
What's your think? Wait. Okay.
Take
What
two,
would the
take
gameplay be? So
two,
it's
take
not.
two, take
Is
two.
it a realistic setting?
yes. Like, is it like realistic? Meaning, just to clarify, meaning what?
Meaning on Earth. No.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
No
Space.
sci-fi shit.
I don't wanna. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yes. It's set in Earth.
How many questions we have? We gotta be careful with questions.
Right now you're at 13. The next one is 14.
Who did Enslaved?
Was that Capcom?
Uh,
It was Platinum Games.
Ninja
wasn't it?
Theory. It was Ninja Theory.
Oh, Ninja Theory.
But who published that?
I don't think that was Take Two.
Is the developer?
I wonder. No, I keep thinking like THQ games. Take Two. What the fuck?
Is the developer American?
According to the Wikipedia, no.
Nah, man. Dude.
You guys are missing something that I usually ask. Just trying to help you guys out.
What does he normally ask? Fuck.
Nice. Are there heavy RPG mechanics?
No.
All right, stop burning questions. Ask me before you ask them.
You got 5 more left. Well, 4
I
more
mean,
and then
Four,
the
and then we
answer.
gotta guess the game. We didn't even narrow down the gameplay style, huh?
I want to know what. I mean, it's real. It's not.
So
yeah,
it's not
is
it's not a first person shooter, but it could still be a first person game.
You want to
Did
ask
you
that?
fuck with us like that?
What other?
Is it a third person game?
Yes.
Okay.
16.
Third
So we got
person.
3 left.
Realistic game in the 360 era.
360 PS3 era, yeah.
Take Two.
I want to know whose logo's on the box. I'm blanking.
Fuck.
What do you got?
Come on, guys.
Like when I think Take Two, I think Borderlands, Bioshock, and then
Do they-
Rockstar.
Yeah, and in no 2K development. I mean, I could think LA Noire.
But it's
But-
Rockstar.
Yeah.
We
I
said
mean,
we asked if it was Rockstar, right?
Yeah, I said no.
So it's not LA Noire,
it's technically Team Bondi did it, but I think
but it was published. No, I thought it was a Rockstar studio.
it was a collab of some sort.
Would you fuck with us on LA Noire?
Eh?
Would you fuck with
Nah,
us
I
on LA Noire?
wouldn't. Nah.
You would say that's Rockstar.
Yes, is it open world?
Do we want to ask that?
Uh,
Because is that going to narrow anything down right now?
no, honestly, nothing's gonna add.
Fuck, man, I don't even. Take
Hold
two.
up.
Take two. Take two. Take two. Take two.
Don't focus too much on the Take Two. I'm trying to help you guys out. but-
360 though. What the fuck did they do in the? I'm assuming this is an early 360 game.
When did the 360 launch? 09? No, like 06?
2005.
Oh, no, it's... I'm not gonna say because that's probably a question.
I wish I had my goddamn game, my PS3 games up here.
Was it? Didn't Insomniac make? What was that game Insomniac made before Ratchet and
Focus
Clank?
on the gameplay.
third
I'm trying to help
person?
you guys out.
Fuse? Was that 2K?
That was EA.
It was.
All right, that's a freebie. Okay.
Fracture.
I'm trying to get.
Nah,
help
Fracture.
you guys out.
Was that?
A Turok. Are Turok games?
Come on, guys.
That's
Three more
first person.
questions. And
Turok's
then,
first person.
Does the game franchise still? Well, no, it's a single. You said.
No, let's focus on what he said about the name of the franchise. So he said it's kind of a spin-off. It sounds like it's a spin-off, but so he's considering it a different franchise than the main franchise.
Here, let me clarify this. I don't consider the games with the name on it a franchise.
So this is like a sub-franchise within a franchise. Splinter Cell was still Ubi back then, right? Like they didn't. It's not like they got bought by Ubi later on.
So here, we got a game that came out on the 360 PS3 era. It's a third-person game. It's made by 2K. The developer is...
Wait, it's made
Not
by
from here.
Take-Two. It's not by 2K.
Well, 2K and Take-Two, I consider.
Yeah,
the same thing.
I consider
No,
them
hold up.
together,
No, what?
bro.
They're totally different thing. Take-Two's the parent company of 2K, and then 2K
Like,
games.
Anthony,
2K
you consider them together?
They're
Yeah,
100%.
that's
I
the
do.
thing. No, because
100%.
2K Marin is a Take-Two studio. Take-Two, that's where 2K comes from.
I mean,
I know,
it's
that's what I'm
published. It's published by 2K Games. Like Take-Two and 2K, I consider them.
So
together.
I consider them the same thing too. I'm on the
Yeah,
same wavelength
so-
as them. If that's a hint to you, though, I mean,
Yeah, if that's a
feel
hint,
free to
you know,
share.
But I consider them.
I consider
same.
them the same too. So, what has 2K made other than
It's a third-person shooter, you said?
third-person
It's a
game? We didn't
third-person
clarify
game.
shooter.
Is it a sports game?
Is
No,
that a
don't burn
question?
that- Don't burn that
I
question.
mean, what else are we going to do? Just stay here for 10 minutes? We might as well. Is it a sports Is it a sports game?
No.
I knew it wasn't gonna be a sports game.
Two more
Is
in
it
the
a racing game? Project Gotham? Was that 2K? No, that's Capcom.
Oh, fuck my ass. Racing games. But, I mean, the Midnight games are Rockstar. Right? The Midnight Club games
Is
are
it a
Rockstar.
PGR game?
What? Is that a question?
Is it a racing game?
Is it a
It's
racing game?
Yeah.
That's a question. No.
Fuck. Yeah, I don't know.
Um,
I don't know.
Game focus on the gameplay. You guys have said it. If
no way we said it. We said the game?
no, I mean you guys haven't said the game,
Oh,
but
how
you
you
said
funny.
like one of the things that might help you guys that you guys still haven't answered. Like ask. I'm sorry. You got one more question and then the game.
Fuck, man, we've been going long on this one too. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm gonna give you a hint because I'm not. It's a shooter, third-person shooter.
yeah, but still, what,
Because you guys
The
are
Darkness.
just.
That's a first-person game.
Yeah, it's also in a series.
I'm surprised that you guys haven't come up with it. It's wow. Okay.
Well, it can't be Mass Effect. It can't be.
There's
No,
no
can't.
RPG things in it. It's not, Can I look at a list of
No.
studios
Was it?
owned
Was
by
it? Hold on. What?
No,
What's
dude.
that? What's that?
No.
That dark game I mentioned. Dark Sector?
No.
Was that 2K?
Was,
Or was that Capcom? I feel like that might be Capcom.
later turned out
Oh
to
my
be
God.
Warframe. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna go with
One more question and then
we have a question
the
for
game.
I guess.
Yeah.
Fucking A, man.
If it's a third person shooter, do you play as Spec Ops? No way.
Do you what? What was the question?
Ooh, is that 2K?
Yeah, it is. Is it a military based game?
Yes.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
did you get it with
that's
the
the
last
game.
question?
I'm going with
Did
Spec
you-
Ops: The Line.
Yep.
Holy
Oh,
shit! At the
wow.
0 hour, Jeffrey Mizrahi pulls it out.
Yep.
Oh
Spec
my
Ops: The
God.
Line
What
came out in June 26, 2012. It was developed by Jaeger. It was published by 2K Games. And here, you guys tell me I don't consider it as a franchise because the first one came out like in 2002. It was named
I
Spec
was-
Ops
it-
Airborne
It actually
Commando.
technically is.
But that's like
And-
considering
but
Red Dead
it's
Redemption the
way
same
too
series as
different,
Red
in my
Dead
opinion.
Revolver.
Yeah.
It's like it is, but it isn't. I get where Miguel's coming from with that. At the 0 hour, though, Jeffrey Mizrahi.
You just pulled it out of your ass, dude.
Wow.
That I guess.
I'm
surprised
respect.
you guys didn't get it earlier.
I never played it, honestly.
So
That's why
here
I
are the
tried it.
developers. Though,
I
for
think
those
if I-
listening, so under Take-Two, by the way, Take-Two is I was right. Take-Two is the highest of parent company. So under them, they do have publishers. That's why it's confusing. So the publishers they have currently are 2K Play, 2K Games, 2K Sports, Private Division,
Like, all that
Rockstar, and
2K?
Social Point.
That
Huh?
2K stuff, I think I consider everything together. Where
I think Take-Two and 2K are the same thing.
Yeah,
I know, but they're not. So it goes.
they're
Take-Two,
underneath. I know they're underneath, but it's still
because then you have to clarify because 2K is also a publisher and developer. So like, there's 2K
Right,
games
like the
develop
2K
the game,
sports games.
and then
What-
2K, you know.
Here, what help you narrow the game? Because you guys were out until like you just came up with it for whatever.
I was just thinking third-person
just didn't-
shooters. I just isolated as third-person.
I
shooters.
have no clue
I was so
how you guys
fixated
didn't
on it
ask
being
if it
XCOM.
was shooter earlier.
Yeah.
Well, because we said first-person shooter, and that's why I think we got
And
stuck.
then you just asked for.
I was scared to ask
third
third-person shooter too, and then that be a no, and then I was be screwed. So
That's a good
good
game, huh?
shit. Yeah, that was a real good game. That was a long game, but
Oh,
shout
good
out to
question
Jeff
would
for
be:
saving.
Does the publisher own the developer? Because I'm looking at this list, and they never owned Jaeger. So that's interesting.
Nope.
Yeah, that would have thrown us off. So yeah, good shit. Jeff, why don't you give us our Patreon shout-outs for the week before we close the show out?
The shouts out section brought to you by patreon.com/psbestfriends, where you could get your name, podcast, YouTube channel, book, movie, etc. read on air. But this week we have Jack Moseri, Jake Millar, Jack H. Terzi, and Nathaniel Hicks supporting us at that level. Remember, you can check out Nathaniel Hicks' podcast, Hope County Radio, where they talk about Far Cry 5 at Hope County Radio on all podcast platforms. Thank you
And
guys
you could also
for
check
supporting
out
us.
You could also check out Nate's new podcast with me, Anthony Palm. We're going to be having a new Star Wars podcast debuting the day before this comes out, actually. So it'll be tomorrow as if we're recording, but it'll be Monday the 16th. And that's called Hello There, a Star Wars podcast. So check that out. We recorded episode 1 earlier last week. We had a delay, which is why I wanted to wait on announcing it. But yeah, that's going to be fun. Nate and I are going to be talking in depth about the Star Wars universe. More, we want to keep it. A lot of podcasts talk about Star Wars at a surface level, and we want to get into the nitty-gritty. So come check it out. We had a lot of fun with this. We can't wait to keep going with that as well. And that you could just, I don't know when it's going to post because I still have to list it on Anchor, but check it out later this week. Just search Hello There, Star Wars Podcast. And so this has been PS Best Friends Podcast, episode 48. For any questions, comments, and concerns, email us at psbestfriendspod@gmail.com or follow us on Twitter at PSBFPodcast. And don't forget also, if you could give us a 5-star rating on your podcast app of choice, especially iTunes, be a huge help to us. That's going to get us listed higher on the charts, which is going to get more people listening, which is going to grow our Facebook group. And that you could join us at facebook.com/groups/psbestfriends, where you can post questions for the show, ask us all kinds of questions. We've had a bunch of people add us on Anchor as well lately and sending us voice messages. Shout out to all you guys. That's awesome. Thank you for listening so much. And also, if you join us on the Facebook group, you can join our Discord. The link is pinned on our Facebook group. You can come hang out with us on a daily basis. Just chat up, whatever you want to talk about. We talk about all kinds of stuff in that group. So go check that out. And then also, again, if you want to check out Jeffrey's review of God of War, that is on our YouTube. Just on the search bar for YouTube, search PS Best Friends. It'll pop right up. Check that review out. I think he did a great job with it. And yeah, where can people find you, Miguel?
People can find me at PlayStation Network, Dark Angel 1010.
And
You can find me on PSN Brawl96. Shout out to what was the username? Excitebike, I think.
Excitebike 6, I think, added all three of
Excitebike.
us.
Listener of the show, added all of us. Thank you, man. Greatly appreciate it. So Brawl96, my PSN, and then Mr. Brawl96 everywhere else: Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube.
And you can find me on PSN at the only X188. That's spelled out ONE, and then the number is 88. And you can find me on Twitter at Anthony Palm. Thanks
Did he
again
send
for
you the
listening
friend
in.
invite too? Excitebike?
Yep.
Oh wow!
I think we got it all at the same time.
He knew how to add the only X188 correctly.
That's what I was thinking too. I was like, oh, he felt like he heard me right.
He definitely listens if he knows how to spell it. That's the test.
Exactly. Thanks again for listening in. This has been PS Best Friends episode 48. We will catch you all next week.
Peace.